This section contains practical techniques for positioning a child with high muscle tone in a chair or other seat and in bed. Remember, children who can't move independently need to be repositioned regularly for comfort and to prevent pressure sores. When positioning a child with high muscle tone, you generally want to get the hips and knees bent or flexed, the head in neutral or slightly flexed forward, and the arms in a position that allows the hands to come together in the center of the body. You may hear a therapist refer to this as flexed midline positioning. This positioning is important because children and teens with spastic high muscle tone tend to have higher tone in the muscles that arch the back and straighten the legs. When these muscles get very tense at the same time, it causes an extensor pattern or extensor posturing. See how Karis's neck extends, then her back arches, and her legs push down hard against the pillow? Children and teens with high muscle tone, like Karis, need a lot of help to get their bodies into flexed or forward-bending positions and strong external supports to keep them well positioned. To explain why external supports are so important, Karis is going to show us what happens when that support is taken away. Can you see that since the therapist undid the chest straps, Karis's body is straining against her seatbelt? Notice that the therapist leaves the seatbelt on as she prepares the lift and gets the sling in place. She waits until the moment that the lift is in position to raise Karis up off her seat and then undoes the seatbelt. Watch what happens. See that? It took just a few seconds for Karis's body to go into that extensor posturing. So what is required for proper positioning in a wheelchair or supportive seat? First, the child needs a stable surface to sit on. Move straps and anything else out of the way and check the seat and back for lumps or uneven spots. Do up the seat or lap belt as soon as the child is in the chair. Remember what happened when Karis's seatbelt got undone? A well-positioned, snug lap belt or groin strap must be used to keep the child's hips bent and in the right place, as well as for safety. The seatbelt should feel snug. If it seems like the seatbelt is too tight, chances are the child's hips aren't all the way back in the chair. Make sure the hips are all the way back and then do the seatbelt up again. Once the seatbelt is done up, double-check that the child is sitting evenly or symmetrically with both hips all the way back in the chair. Once the hips are even and the seatbelt is secured, look up. Is the trunk even or symmetrical? The child should not be leaning to one side. Do up any chest straps and make sure the lateral or trunk supports are in place. If the child does not have a custom-fitted chair, you may need to provide support with rolled-up blankets or stuffed animals to keep the child from leaning to one side. Now, look down. Both feet should easily reach the footrests. Firm support under the feet makes the body feel more secure. The child's wheelchair is likely adjusted to fit when the child has shoes on, so make sure the shoes are on. Shoes also help keep the feet and ankles in a good position. If the child's feet do not reach the footrests, place a folded towel or other support under the feet until the chair can be adjusted. Are the child's hips, knees, and ankles at right angles? This is a good general rule to follow, but might vary between children depending on any joint contractures or other individual differences. Is there enough head support? Some children just need a rest behind their heads. Others need a headrest that also provides some side support. Has a solid table surface or armrests been provided? Having a solid place to rest your arms adds to your overall feeling of stability. Is the child as upright as he or she can be while still having good head control? Is the head in a neutral position or the chin slightly tucked down? This is especially important if you're going to be feeding the child. As the therapist was positioning Karis in the chair, she kept her movements slow and controlled and made sure Karis knew what she was about to do as she was working. She also got Karis to help by reminding her chin to chest when Karis was pushing back into an extensor posture. These principles of good positioning apply to whatever piece of equipment the child is being seated in. If you're unable to position the child well in the equipment you are using, please talk to the child's therapist. Do not leave a child unsupervised if you have any concerns about the safety of the seating arrangement, and never leave any child unsupervised in a wheelchair without a seatbelt securely fastened.